What's up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and yes, we are back. We are back on the scooter. We are going to get this motor taken apart because we have some stuff coming for it. So let us get into it. So guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back because we are back on the scooter. We are going to be taking apart the motor because we have a lot of stuff coming. We are going to be taking it apart because we're going to be replacing the crank, and we're going to be doing the valves brand spanking new, all new hardware, all new springs, cam, lifters, you name it. We are doing it all, and that is on its way coming. Plus, we're going to take apart the motor and we're going to split it so that way we can replace the crank, because like I said before in my previous videos, I think it's either the crank or the valve, not really for sure, but instead we're just gonna do it all the right way. So we're gonna definitely get all this taken care of. So let's take a look at it. Alright guys, so the motor's still in, and if you saw some of my shorts and better videos, I was not taking this out until I got parts. So we had parts stocking up, trying to get some funds together to get this all taken care of, researching, making sure that I get the right parts and everything. I think we've got it all. So basically what we're going to be doing is this whole entire motor is going to come out again for the third time. I think it's the third or fourth time it's coming out. We're going to be doing this right. We're going to be listening to, there's a mechanic guy I talked to, as I said previously before, he said you should have replaced everything. Well, that's what we're going to do. We've done everything. We tried fixing this. We tried replacing the piston. We've done everything from here up. It's been done, replaced, brand new, except up here, and then in the where the cams and lifters are at, those are all old parts. The spring, the lifters, the cams, everything, the roller rockers, all of it. It's all old from the previous stuff. So the springs could be worn, the lifters could be bent, the cam could be, not the right lifting mode, whatever. So instead, we're going to do this whole all right. Even we're going to replace even the valves. The valves are going to be even replaced. Even though those are new valves we put in, we're going to be replacing it all with brand new hardware. Everything is getting brand new because this housing's new. So we're going to replace everything inside it with brand new stuff to make it 100% brand new. So we're going to be taking that off, replacing that when the parts come. We got an actual valve pressing tool where I don't have to hold it, but we actually can crank it, and I can show you guys a little bit more of that later. So we're going to get this all out, and then we're going to get down to the crank part, and we're going to split this block. So this block's going to be completely split because we got to replace the crank. I feel that would take care of everything. The piston is new, brand new rings and pistons. It's all new. Not worried about that. We're getting a new timing chain adjuster. Something a little more easier to adjust and release and stuff without having to worry about the spring getting worn out. It actually will never wear out because it's going to be threaded with a little nut on the end of it to hold it in place, so we can raise and lower however we feel like it, and that should take care of that. And also, I upgraded the carburetor's mixture screw with my little nut, my little indicator. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can do like how many turns, 1 turn, 2, 3 turns, 4 turns to get it just right. That's actually set. I actually had ran the bike off camera, and I kind of got it in a sweet spot that it seems to like. So we're gonna leave it at that, and then we're gonna come back and start it with that, and then we still have to retune it and everything like that because everything's gonna be new, needs to be kind of adjusted, get warmed up, and all that stuff like that. So for right now, where it's sat, it seemed to like it pretty good because I could hear it kind of go down, rise up, and then kind of give a little power when I got to the sweet spot, so I left it right where it was. So we're going to be taking all of this off. Everything is coming back out again, and we are going to be splitting this. So some of the parts will be coming soon, some of the parts will be coming a little later, but this motor is now ready to come out because, like I said, I was not going to take this motor out until I got all the parts. And now I got all the parts and the tools and everything I need. Now our part is to get this motor out before all that stuff comes. So let's go ahead and do the first two things we need to do, which is we need to drain the coolant and we need to drain the oil. All right, guys, so we're gonna start with draining the oil. Hopefully this will be the last time we have to drain this oil. Done this like maybe 2 or 3 times. So hopefully this will be the last time we have to drain it. So one of the other reasons why it'd be a good idea to drain this block is that in the previous timing of all this, we've had some metallic flakes in the oil, and still do have some. So splitting the block would make life a lot easier. We know we can get the motor super clean, and the next time we change the oil, we won't have any metal flakes or metallic. So as you see, there's that little stream, this little stream right here of a white kind of grayish line. That's the metallic that we've been dealing with for the longest time. So hopefully we can get some of that metal shavings out of there, so when we put this fresh new crank and everything in there, it'll be all clean. There'll be no traces of extra metal. We'll clean it out, make sure it's all nice and clean, so that way we don't have to keep stressing with this. Every time we change the oil, we'll know we have fresh or dirty oil coming out without any metallic flakes with it. So like I said, hopefully this will be the last time we actually drain this oil, and there'll be no metal flakes in it anymore. So we'll finish this, and then we will go and do the coolant. All right, guys, so right now we're getting off the exhaust first, because if I don't, it makes doing this draining of this coolant a lot harder, because I have to worry about it spewing everywhere, and it kind of spews a lot. So I want to get this exhaust off first. We got to take it off anyway, so might as well go ahead and get it out of our way, because it is kind of a heavy, bulky thing. So right now we're getting the heads off, which were a 13 millimeter. So we got those off. We need to get this one off, and then there's one more down below, and then there's one more right there. And I think those are 13 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. So yep, got some 13s. We got a 13 here, then we got a 13 here, and then we got a 13 right here. So we'll get all these off real quick, and then we should be good. Still old school, especially on these, because they're so delicate, and the new power tools are so torquey. that you could easily break them and not even realize it. Taking them off is not an issue. It's putting them back on that you don't want to over torque them and end up breaking them. Set it off to the side. I like putting the nuts back in them so we don't lose them, because the last thing you want to do is lose all your bolts and screws and stuff, because you know you don't want to misplace them. So there's a little weep hole here, right here. You can just loosen that up and that'll drain the coolant without it spewing all over the place. Oops. Spoke too soon. Alright, there it goes. So that's the weep hole that you can drain it with, like, it's like a drain plug. So this makes life a lot easier. But when we purge, we have to pull this and purge to get all the air bubbles out. But yeah, not too bad. It's actually coming out pretty green, which is good. That means that all of the buildup and stuff that we had inside is actually coming out. So the next time I fill this up, I want to like do a flush. Once we get it actually running, drive it around for a while, let all the fluid out again, and then refill it with some perfectly good green fluid, and we should be good. But actually it looks pretty good now, so I think after all those rotations of moving and getting it warmed up, it actually did the trick. So we may not actually need to do it anymore. We may just need to top it off with some fresh, clean fluid, and we should be good to go. So while we're doing that, it's almost there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack it, help it out. I like doing this because it gets all the fluid out. So we just crack everything open. Just a little bit. And just pull. See? You get more fluid out. A lot more fluid than what was actually in there. Because we're gonna have to take this all off. So I want to make sure I got all the fluid out that needs to be out. So that's pretty good for right now. So we'll go ahead and cinch her back up. Alright, put the weep hole back in there. Alright, now we got all the fluid out. We may have a little bit come out later, but for the most part, we got it all out. So now we can go ahead and start taking everything apart so we can get this motor out. Alright guys, so we got all the fluid drained out, got the oil, which is basically just oil and coolant. So I'm going to go ahead and get this motor out. You guys have seen this a bunch of times, me taking this out. I'm not going to bore you with me taking this thing off. I showed you taking off the exhaust and coolant, draining the coolant. But then I was like, you know what? I've taken this out, like this is probably my third or fourth time taking this motor out. I'm sure I filmed it and you guys have seen it. So I'm going to just come back when the motor is out. All right, guys, so we got the motor out yet again, and it's sitting over here. So soon what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get everything off, get it down to the block, go ahead and get this taken off because we have to wait for the tools. So, but what we do have to take off is we have to take off this arm here because this arm is connected to the actual cover for their stator, and then when we split apart that block, it's going to be difficult. So we're going to actually have to take this arm completely off. Hopefully we can just maybe just take these two nuts off. I really don't want to take the whole thing off, but if I have to, I will. But if we can take these nuts off and just let it fall to the floor, that would be great, because then all we got to do is just take off the starter and then take off the cover, and then we should be good to go, and then everything should be all right from there. And then as you see right here, this is where we have to split the block, because that's where the crank is. Crank's right up in here, or crank's in here, but the piston's right here. So we'll have to split that so we can take off both sides. So we still got a little work to do and everything, but it's going out pretty good. So let's wait for some of the parts and tools to come, and then we will get on this. But we will get some of these parts off because we know we're going to have to get them off anyway. So we'll get this arm off and see how it looks when it falls down. If we just take that nut off and get it off, then we'll just get it off and be done with it. No big deal. And then we'll just get everything kind of ready to disassemble, put back together, get this all back together really quick and fast so we can start riding it. So let's go ahead and start getting some of this stuff ready for this. All right, guys, so we got the bracket piece off. The nut in there needed just some PVC blaster, and it came off. So now we got that off. So now we can actually somewhat keep this together, but we'll see how far it goes before we have to end up taking that off if we have to. But I'm gonna try my best to leave this wheel on because I think we could still get to it, because now that the bracket's out of the way, we can now get to taking the cover off and everything else off and still keep the wheel on. So the brake is right here. So, and then it goes all the way down in between. So I don't see it as being in the way, or seeing this being in the way. So I think we should be okay. Plus it'll give it a nice holder. We can lean it over or whatever we need to do. Because if I take that wheel off, then I have nothing for it to sit on. So the wheel is kind of keeping it upright. So now that we got that taken care of, now we're going to go ahead and disassemble this area up here, and then we will get this off, and then we can be ready. But let us wait for the tools. Guys, I wanted to stop and take a minute and just say thank you guys for all the love and support on this build. I've had a lot of people give me likes. There's actually one guy who actually said I was doing a good video. He has an SYM 250. So thank you to that person that actually commented on my page. If you like this stuff, and if anybody else does, or if they're getting into this SYM scooter kind of build, or even just any adult scooter itself, 250, 300, 4, 6, they're kind of the same design idea. You have to adjust a little bit for what your vehicle does, but the concept is kind of the same. Even the same with the scooter. 150 or 50cc, the idea is different, just that as you get bigger, they get more complex. They get more stuff added onto them. Design's a little different, but they're pretty much the same ish. But when parts, you gotta make sure they fit, make sure they work for your vehicle. That's definitely the name of the game. But the idea and understanding, if you can understand that and take it on your vehicle or your bike, then you can really fix these. This is really not a problem. But without further ado, let's get back on this. Thank you guys so much for watching. So as I was saying, that we were waiting for the parts to come, the tools to come, and they did come in. They came in today. So one of the ones we have is our valve spring C-clamp. So I'll show you. So this is what we're going to use, and we'll be able to do it right. You got different settings for your valves, and then you also have this to hold it down, so it'll actually hold it down in place. And then we can set the tool to be held. So like one end will get the hold the valve, and the other end will hold the will push down the spring. And then you just use this tool here, and you tighten it up on one end, and it squeezes the other end, and then voila. So hopefully this will all work out. we're definitely going to be using it to get the valves out and get the valves in when they come. But we could use this to take apart the valves that's already in the bike, because we're going to have to replace them out anyway. So we could take that out as well. So that's one thing that we got, which is really cool. And then the second thing we got, if I can do this one-handed, is our flywheel separator tool. So this is our flywheel separator tool. It's got two different little ends. You got a smaller threaded end, you got a bigger threaded end, depending on what you're using it on. Maybe your motorcycle or your scooter, and you just flip it to whatever side. Then you screw it in, and then this nut here will press it out, and then that's it. Then that will help get it pressed out. And it's a really cool press out tool. It comes in this little case, and you know, you just, so it keeps it out of the way. It's got these little ridges that kind of locks it in place, and then just get your tool to line up, and bam, there you go. So these tools are cool. I'm waiting on one more tool, and then we should be good. And then the rest of the crank and we're waiting on the crank, we're waiting on the valve adjuster, timing adjuster, and we are waiting on the valves. We're waiting on the roller rockers, and we're waiting on the cam. But yeah, so we got some stuff to get started, and we do. So we have the flywheel separator, because the flywheel separator is going to take, when take this cover off, the flywheel's right behind there. Got to press that out, and then I think tomorrow the clamps, the separator to separate the block is coming. So really and honestly, we can dismantle the valves, the pistons, take that all out. Then we can get the flywheel out and get the stator and everything out of the way. Get the starter off, and then once that tool comes, we can separate this block. As you see, there's that line. We just separate it so we can get the actual crank out of there. So this separator will separate the block from one end. Then we're gonna go on the other side and press it out the other way, and then the thing comes out. And then we can clean it all up and then put it all back together and be good. So I'm super excited to get in this, and I'm really super happy that it's going a little bit more faster. So if you guys like this, please give a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you like this and everything. So let us go ahead and start getting this all torn apart. Okay guys, so we're back. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this off. We're gonna get all of this off. So let us go ahead and work on that. So we're gonna get this this bottom hose off, which you already got most of it off. I just have to get this cover off. So 10 millimeters up top with your 8 millimeters. Most of these bolts are 8 millimeters. All these little bolts are 8 millimeters. So it's not too many bolts, but we're gonna take this this 10 millimeter bolt off. Grab a chair so I can do this. Let's get you guys so you can see. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this off. Kind of got somewhat started. So let's hold the cover up. Alright. Get the cover off, set these bolts to the side. Then we gotta get this cover off here. There, let's see if you guys can. There we go. Alright. So now, gotta get these off. So there's 3 8 millimeter bolts here. Get this cover off. Then I usually just put the screws back in there just so that way you don't lose them, because these things are very finicky to replace. You can't just go to your local parts store and get these. I mean, you can get lucky sometimes, but it's better just to be safe than sorry. All right, so let me get my other set of tools because we got to get this off. All right. So we got our different set of tools. All right, so it's a 10 millimeter. Hold on. Let me do one thing before we get crazy started. Actually, you know what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter because we're going to have to fit it up anyway. All right. All right, so we're going to get this off. I was going to get it set to top dead center, but we're going to be taking this thing apart, so we're going to have to reset it anyway because it's not going to be set accurately. So all right. Oh, I know why I did that. Did it break? No, I did break. Anyway, I did that. Forgot to let go of the tension. Forgot to let go of the tension. All right. So, forgot to take the tension off of this. Like, shouldn't be forgetting to do that, but I did. I would probably realize it towards the end, but yeah, get rid of the tension. That might be helpful. So we'll get this out of here. All right. So we got a new tensioner coming. It'll replace this. It actually wasn't all the way out, which is interesting. So we'll replace that, make our life a lot easier down the road. So yeah. All right, so now we can loosen this. Then we'll loosen this nut here. A little long bolt here. See? Got a little long bolt. Just throw it, doesn't matter. This little long bolt we gotta take out. All right, now we got that loose. Now we gotta get these 4 bolts off. So I want to say that they are a 14, and that was right. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and loosen these. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. All right, like so. So then down here, there's some washers. I gotta get my. Always good to have a magnet so you can get them out. All right, set that there. Alright. Do that there. Grab our magnet. Grab off the washers. Try not to lose them. Keep them together if you can help it. Alright. So now that we got that taken care of, we're going to take off this line. This is the line that's going all the way to the water pump. So we're just going to disconnect it up top. Just pull it. Pull the line. Now you got that out the way. And then now we can go ahead and separate the valves. And it's really simple. Just slowly pull it up. And you just gotta wiggle it a little bit, and then it all comes out. All right, and then like so, we are out. So we just set this down on its, set it off to its side so it don't get destroyed. All right, then we'll take off this gasket here. Take off this little spacer piece. Take off this one as well. All right, I guess the guide thing wants to come with us. So we'll take it. All right, set that there. There. And then, don't know where the other one, oh, there's, oh wait, where's the other one go? Where did the other one go? Oh, it's right here. All right, so don't want to lose those. That's why I'm like freaking out. Like, where's it at? All right, so now we're gonna take our sprocket piece out, set it to the side, and now we can go ahead and take off our piston. Just pull it up, just ever so gently. Ever so gently. All right, I guess we have to take these out. Oh wait, I do this every time. Every time. I forget to do it every time. I'm gonna keep wondering why is it not coming off. It's because there's a piece up here you have to take off to get to the. Here, we'll just take it off from here. All right, now we can pull it. I do it every time. All right. Pull these guides out. And then just wiggle it ever so gently, and then that comes out. Looking quite good. Not bad on the pistons. All right, so the pistons is out. We'll keep these guide pieces with them so we don't lose them. All right, so now we have the piston. It's only because I need to crank it up. So it's at top dead center. That was one of the reasons why I needed it. Well, let me get the wrench for that and see what we got here. Let me get my bigger one. All right, let me get the right bolt and we will be right back. Guys, so we're back. We need to get this to top dead center so we can get the full hit of the piston. So we'll just do it backwards. All right. So right now we're just trying to get it to top dead center, so that way there we go. Yep, now we're at top dead center. So now we can get to the piston a lot more easier, so we can get it out. So let me go and grab all right. So now we are going to pull this piston. It's really quite simple. There is a little notch here with the ring, so you just push down and just bend, and then there, piston comes out. And then what we need to do is not to lose it, one, but there's a, on the other side, we just get our tool and just push. You have to push out the pin so we can get it out. It's coming. Here, let me get up and look at it. I'm trying to do it blind. All right, so you hold it up, get in there and push. Here, let's grab our flathead. Do it. Let's grab your flathead. Just push it, and then it comes on out, and then off with its head. So the other side will stay because all we gotta do is just slide it right back in and you're good to go. So, yep, we are good. So now we're gonna get these little spacer pieces out if we can. There we go, there's one. And then we're gonna grab the other one out. Here's the other one. And then what we're gonna do is ever so gently, we're gonna pry up this gasket. Because if I don't do it now, I'll regret myself later for not doing it. So I don't want to destroy it, I want to reuse it. So, all right, so we hold the chain and then just ever so gently, just get it off of here without ripping it. Just ever so gently. Nice and easy. Nice and easy, because it's already starting to rip up top here. I kind of want to reuse. I don't want to have to get another one. So just pull it out nice and gently. Lift this up. There we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And then, like I said, just try not to rip it. It'll come. Man, I thought I was gonna lose this. Hang on, we still haven't got out of the woods yet. We still gotta get at least threads. That can go down. There's one. Get the serious one, the one that really is the critical one. Nice and easy. All right. go in there. A little bit off, off. Yes. Whew. So there's a gasket. We can save that so we don't have to get another one. So we're getting pretty good. Now all we gotta do now is we just cover off and see what's behind it. Let's go ahead and get this cover off. I'm just gonna loosen them all, make sure we don't have any issues with getting them off. Alright, get these off. Alright. Two more bolts. Alright, so before we take them off, make sure we got them all, which we do. Let me go get my pry tool. Alright, here we go. Oh. All right. There we go. All right. Looks like stator. Everything comes all off. All right, so we got a big nut we got to get off. This is the gasket I was hoping I could save. Looks like we might be able to leave it on there and just re-put it back on as it is, which is not too bad. All right, we're gonna lean it on its side so we don't keep spilling this oil. So pull it over here so you guys can get a better look at it. All right. So there he is. Just doing some pieces and stuff. All right. Let's see if we can get a light on here. All right, so it is a 2-chainer. 1 chain's for the pump. So right here is the oil pump. It's got a chain, and then the other chain's for the sprocket. So it is a 2-chain, which we were good to notice that. Alrighty. So now, looks like we're gonna have to get this thing off of here, because this is the crank itself. So we got some Allen head screws we're gonna have to get off, plus get this piece off. So no problem there. So we'll have to get a bigger deep socket. See what we got. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got this nut off. It was a 19, so I had to check and see if it was going to work. So we got that off. So okay, guys, so just realized that we were going to probably have to stop because this puller tool that I got is actually not going to work for this, because there's normally you would stick it in, it would thread in, and then it would pull, and normally the flywheel, it would pull on the flywheel, but this way is a little different. So the stator actually goes inside here, where some of them the stator's on the outside and whatever. The way it is on some vehicles or some bikes is this flywheel is flipped around, and then the stator is sitting inside, and when you pull the flywheel off, the stator would be inside and you have to take the stator off. Well, mine's different. My stator came off with the actual cover. So this is the stator right here. It's already came off already, where most of the time in some bikes it's reverse. The flywheel is covering the stator, and then once you get the flywheel off, then you can get the stator off. That's not the case with this. This is different. It's the other way around. The stator came off, and then you gotta get the flywheel off, because the stator isn't housed in here. And like I said, most bikes, it's flipped around. The stator is in here, and then the flywheel is covering the stator. So it's the other way. The stator's sitting in the flywheel. So that's what made it so different, and I didn't realize that. I actually, when I looked at the manual a little harder, I was looking at it under the crank, how to remove the crank, and I pulled up, flywheel removal tool, and I went with the first one that I saw, and I was thinking that that's how it was, because I've never taken the case off to figure out that it was a different kind of style. And forgive me for that, because this is my first time doing all this, taking this bike apart. It's a little different from a 50cc scooter. It's more like a motorcycle territory style. So forgive me for that. This is my first time doing this. I've had zero experience with this. I'm going off of watching videos from people overseas, and looking at some of the videos from people in Europe, and looking at the manual, going off of a lot of different references, and did not think about that until I actually looked under stator and flywheel. And then when I looked at stator and flywheel, it showed me exactly what I needed, and I had the wrong tool. I wish I would have look a little harder. So, you know, I'm taking my time with it, and you know, a little slow here and there. Normally, you know, we zip through this, but there's a lot of anomalies I just didn't realize. So, gotta be patient with me on that. Like I said, this is my first time trial and error. Someone else who probably had done these a lot would probably know, and I just didn't. So I'll have to get another tool. So this is not going to work. I have to order an actual another flywheel, because they sell so many different flywheel tools. This is like would be for like maybe a 50cc to 150 or 250, depending on the way it's orientated. But mine takes an actual different kind of flywheel pulley that will actually go over around this. See, so as you see, it's threaded. So the tool will be threaded on here, and then the puller part, which would be this part here, will actually go on top of that, and then it'll separate, and then this whole entire flywheel will come off, and then we can continue moving forward, and then we could separate the block once we get, you know, the maybe the oil pump, the chain, and the guide, and everything else, and everything else out of the way. And then once we get that, then we actually can separate the block. So that's really kind of cool that we'll be able to do that. So so yeah, so that'll be pretty much what we'll do. But for right now, we're gonna have to stop for today. I know I was on a roll, and I was hoping to at least get the flywheel off before the separator tool came tomorrow, but it's okay. We'll just go ahead and just pause and wait and be patient, take our time, because I want to put this back together perfectly. I don't want to ruin it. So we will pause, wait a few days, and it should be here. I think the next couple of days it should be here. The separator tool will be here tomorrow, and then the what other tools coming tomorrow? The crank will be here tomorrow. So the crank and the separator tool will be here tomorrow. So we'll just have to be patient and wait, because we can't get very far with this on. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. Well, guys, yeah, it's a bummer. We'll just have to wait and order the right flywheel tool. We simply ordered the wrong one. Did not realize it until we tore it apart. And then looking at the actual manual a lot better, it actually had the part number and what kind of tool we needed. So I didn't see that. So, you know, I'm new at messing with motorcycles. 50cc scooters is about as much as I would small motors, but I'm learning. And it's just going to take some time, but we'll get it, and we'll get it in there, and we will try it again. So it's supposed to come, I think, the next day. So we should see it really soon. We'll get it off. The other parts should come the next day as well. So hopefully we can get it all taken apart and redo another video and show you guys it. But thank you guys so much. This is a really cool project. If you guys are liking this, please definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stop and wait. We can't do anything right now anyway, since we don't have the tools and the parts and everything like that. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to stop. I was only gonna do a stopping point anyway. I was gonna hopefully stop when I got the flywheel off, and then wait for the other tools and parts to come, and then we could just go ahead and continue moving forward. But it's okay. We will just wait, be patient, and we will get it together. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome, and I really appreciate all the love and support and the likes. Could not do this without you guys, and I love showing this to you guys, and hopefully I learned something as well as you guys do. But with all being said, thank you so much. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm going to see you in the next fix. Until then, peace.